Hi, you're face to face with Shell. In this video I want to talk about what happened to me after I was discharged from hospital, in the hope that sharing my experiences it will help you, your family and your friends to maybe understand a bit better what to expect. I was severely burned while on holiday in Spain. When I was first burned there was not a lot of help out there. Certainly not as much as what is now with the internet, etc. There's forums out there. There certainly wasn't that back in 1984. Internet hadn't even been invented. Yes, I am that old. So I survived. What next? So I survived all the operations. I had survived, first of all, sorry, the explosion. I'd survived all operations. And then I had survived not getting an infection, which did happen to a woman who was in the next room to me. She was a lovely woman and we used to shout next door to each other, good morning, and have a chat. And unfortunately she got an infection and she died. And she didn't have nearly the extent of injuries that I did. And that really scared me. And it scared my family and my friends. But we got there and got out of hospital alive, so yay, an achievement. I felt I had to reinvent myself. Still the same person inside, maybe a bit changed obviously. I don't think that something like this can happen to you and it doesn't change you. But certainly I had changed on the outside and it was time to now start to rebuild my life again as a new person. My parents had moved house not long after the explosion. They had moved to my grand's house, who had been in the explosion with us and who'd unfortunately died. I felt that when I was eventually discharged from hospital and I returned home, that it wasn't to my home. I mean, obviously it was familiar because it was Grand's house, but it wasn't my home. So first of all, anyway, when I got there, I was like, where's all my stuff? Now my mum, she loves a good clear out, and I think she took this opportunity to think, yes, I can get rid of all the rubbish. We were actually just talking about this the other day with my little cousin, and we were having a good laugh about it. And I asked my mum about it. So why did you throw all my stuff away? And she just sort of laughed. She couldn't deny that she'd done it. Some very good friends of mine said, oh, she was probably thinking, oh, she doesn't need that after the explosion. She doesn't need distractions. Get rid of all this. She's got enough to deal with. We did have a really good laugh about it. My new bedroom had been decorated with Piro, which was beautiful, and I really loved having new things, and I was so grateful to my mum and dad for doing this for me. But I really felt it was a totally new life now. First with my new scars, and secondly with the new house and having none of my familiar things around about me. I did have one familiar thing, and that was my bear Sooty, who I've spoke about in other videos. I had him since I was 2 years old, and he even stayed in hospital with me, and the doctors and nurses were amazing. They even bandaged Sooty up like me, and every time a bandage came off, Sooty got a bandage taken off. So it was like I could see my progress through my bear. And yet I still have him, and he still sits on my bed. So everything was a bit weird, everything was a bit strange, a bit different, and I just felt that nobody knew what I was going through. I felt that my parents were pretty strict before the explosion. What teenager doesn't think that their parents are strict? But now I felt that they were even more so. Now I can understand I was their only child and they had nearly lost me. But at the time I just couldn't understand the control. This is how it was portrayed to me. I just felt that the strictness and control was even more so now, after I'd been discharged from hospital. For example, every Saturday night I had to come in at 9 o'clock to have my skin creamed. I felt one night missed wouldn't have made any difference. But please bear in mind, I'm speaking from the mind of a teenager here, not obviously from the mind of an adult. To me, the control was just absolutely unbearable, always having to know where I was, who I was with, how long was I going to be, if plans changed, which they often do when you're a teenager. It seemed that they were annoyed with me if I hadn't been where I said I was going to be. At the time, I just never understood this. I wasn't a bad teenager, so I'm thinking, why are they being so strict? My mum said that i.e. my parents, treated me as normal, which I am so glad for. It was the correct way to go. I would certainly never have been the person I am today or achieved what I have achieved if it wasn't for how they had treated me after it. I would get tellings off even in hospital, which now I can see why they'd done this. So the medical team saw my parents telling me off and not really getting away with much. So then they knew that they could push me that little bit further, which I'm really glad they did. I'm glad that they all treated me the way they did, because it certainly helped my progress. I do now realise that my parents had their own demons to deal with. I mean, my dad had lost his mum, my gran, their daughter, myself, was seriously injured, as was my cousin, and my gran's friend had died. So this was a lot for one family to deal with. My parents done a tremendous amount for me. To them, the rest of my family and my friends, I honestly shall be eternally grateful. If you are a teenager, I know how you feel. Okay, I was a teenager quite a while ago, but please take heart in that I do know what you're going through. Times may have changed, but the pains are still the same. If you're a parent, I honestly don't know how you feel, but I can try and understand. You just want the best for your child and want no further harm to come to them. And now I realise why my parents were the way that they were. As I said, thanks to the internet, there is a lot of forums, a lot more anyway than certainly when I was discharged. There's a bit more help out there. So this is all available without having to leave your home, just in case you're not at that stage that you feel that you can go out all the time. I mean, it took me ages to go out by myself. I always had to have someone with me. And I came from a small village where just about virtually everyone knew who I was and what had happened. But I still needed that security of someone being with me. There's no lengthy time of when things will happen for you. When you feel that you can do things or you want to do things, give it a try. If it doesn't work out, give it a whirl and then try again. Everyone is different and everyone will take different lengths of time to do things or to achieve certain things. I was in my 30s when I actually stopped worrying about the scars on my arms. It's weird, but I didn't care when I was on holiday. You know, I would go about, my arms uncovered in a bikini, etc. I'd quite happily walk around. Come back to Britain, I needed to cover them up again. I can't explain it. Now I don't care. I'm just like, this is me. Here I am. So basically, I was discharged from hospital and given back to my parents, family and friends. It was sort of like, there you go. There was obviously follow-up appointments and many years of skin grafts, etc. to follow. But I felt there was no real emotional support for any of us, not just for me, for my family, for my friends, especially my mum and dad having to deal with this teenager now who had other angst to go through, not just the normal teenager stuff. So this was all landed onto my family and friends. Again, I will say who I honestly shall be eternally grateful to all of them. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Must say a big shout out to my new subscribers. Thank you so much. I hope you are enjoying it. If you're new to the channel, please give me a like, subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you never miss any of the videos. I'm hoping to put one out every Friday now. We are about to go backpacking again for a short while, maybe for, I don't know, 8 weeks or so. I will be travelling back to Spain, and I'll be taking you back to the place where the explosion happened. That's going to be, I have been back before, but it's always strange when I go back. Anyway, thank you once again, and we'll chat soon. Bye.